Hello, and welcome back to FRLT. And it is time for fours once again. And as you can see in the title, it is round number 4. Yes, it is round number 4 of the season. We finally come to it. And of course, as you know, it is Great Britain for this week. We come to Silverstone, 5.891 kilometers, 3.660 miles, 18 turns, 2 DRS zones, down the Wellington Straight and the Hangar Straight. To see a bit of elevation across the track. Not a huge amount, but still some elevation. Let's have a quick look at the calendar. We've now made it past already. We've completed a third of the season. 3 out of 9 races completed. And tonight we're going to be completing the 4th race of the season. Yes, the 4th race of the season. And then that will be that, and it is Great Britain this week, as you can see, on the 6th of the 4th. Next week, we'll be going to Austria, followed by Kota, China, to finish out April, to then be going to the Netherlands and Bahrain for the finale on the 11th of the 5th. Just 1 month and 5 days. Yes, 1 month and 5 days left till we complete season 4, which I can't believe at all. But let's have a quick look at something else. And that thing to look at is the standings, which, again, I do apologise for the blaring music. It's just the way somehow my stream is set up. I have no clue why it keeps doing this. But as you can see, it is quite close. 6 teams have competed. Of course, TTRE gone and XPG entered their first race in Qatar. But as you can see, XR8 take the lead of the constructors away from ABE because they have more podiums, by the way. They have more podiums. But it is XR8 on top on 74 points, equal to ABE, also on 74 points, followed by UFRT, who did not come away strong last race. Only 2 points achieved last race. Only 2 points achieved. Also, we saw XPG, to begin with, very strong start to their campaign. They took on 10 points. VRT didn't race last week. They are racing this week. As we speak, we're about to get into qualifying, but we're only going to be getting into it in a minute or so. Hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing Sunday, because I definitely am. I'm having an absolutely great Sunday. And we are about to get into the session in a minute. And we'll be getting going for round number 4 of the season. Next race will officially count to being the midway point of the season, by the way. Which, I'm surprised, to be honest. I'm surprised about that. Next race is going to be the midway point of the season. The game is slowly loading, and we are finally in, and I'll take you to the screen now. If it wants to load, it doesn't want to load. I do apologise. Now it's loading. Now it's loaded. I'm very sorry. The game took a minute there to actually go through OBS, taking a little bit longer than usual to sort its stuff. But overall, tonight's going to be an interesting one. As you can see, that's the wrong thing to click. We've got 19 drivers. Bourbon will be joining to fill out the grid of all 20 drivers. Still, the lowest race for attendance was round number 2. Still lowest in attendance. And we've got a Sauber coming out onto the track. It's Floppis coming out onto the track. It's for VRT here tonight. It's Floppis in the Sauber. Let me double check who's in what, because I don't remember, because I'm stupid. I've been doing this for a couple of races. McLaren and Kick are VRT. Been a while since we've seen them. It's been 2 weeks, so I'm forgetting already. But Floppis first out on track. We've then got, I think we have it is Ryan Benink for XR8 coming out onto the track. He's up next. XR8 trying to extend their championship lead. They've got a very successful lineup. Hazer now joins, which means we do officially now have a full grid, I do believe. If I look at everything, I think we do. We're missing... Bourbon Boy's joined now. Bourbon Boy is in. And so we'll have the full grid. We've got Ryan Benink out on track. We've got Zinks out on track as well. We've also got the other XR8 driver, Josh Rose, out on track, who's then followed by Rafina in the RB for ABE. It's then followed by, I believe it is Warrener in 10th. And then we've got one of the two Ferraris. It's Wooder. I think he's raced in this league, if I remember. He's raced in FRLT before, I swear. He's done it before. I can't remember. It's been a while. Floppis has started his lap, though. Let's see how he's going to be doing as he makes his way round. Of course, we missed the start of the lap, so we might actually hop back to Ryan Benink. I'm going to hop back to Ryan Benink quickly and see how he's going to do. The man who's trying to keep XR8 on top in fours is trying to bring them from far back into the lead of the constructors. It was a good race in Qatar for them. A victory, which they took a 1-2, I believe it was. And a very strong finish to the race. And, of course, the lead of the Constructors' Championship. But they're equal with AB. So this week, if they score more points, they will take the lead, no matter what. It's a good first sector, 27.596 for the first sector. Middle sector, of course, is quite important as well. You've got Luffield, of course. You haven't got many corners. We're now coming up to Cops. High speed, flat out, of course, in this game. And pretty easy to take. The next the next corner, shall I say. The next corner is Maggots and Beckett's. He makes his way through Maggots. Now into Beckett's he goes. It's a very strong set. A little bit wide there out of Beckett's. Into the 0.9s. Clearly working fine for himself there for the moment. Round the chicane. He goes round Stowe corner. Now into the chicane he goes. Throwing the car left. Throwing the car right. Onto the curb. Push it quite far onto the exit. Almost invalidating. As he sets a 1 minute 26.139 is the time to beat to start off tonight's qualifying. And is not matched by Zinks, who only does a 0.4 to his lap time. Quite a bit slower. We've got to look to Josh Rose, though, who's been a bit quicker than his teammate. Let's see, and across the line, he's a bit slower by the end. It's a 26.277. Rafina goes just ahead of Zinks, still in the 0.4s, exactly 100th faster than Zinks. So not a huge amount faster, but only that little bit that he needed. Flame is starting his lap as it's Wooder. Now goes into a 26.3, slotting in behind the Williams duo in the lead. As Deck for UFRT goes fastest of all. Fastest of all for himself. And that is exactly what he would have been looking for here tonight. 1 minute 26.079 times, already down to the 26.0s to start off tonight's qualifying. That is quite quick as Raxi beats that even more in the Alpine as he now goes to a 1 minute 25.879 as Mika goes P2 for ABE. 25.982, about a tenth, just over a tenth off. It's not far, but two drivers now into the 1 minute 25s, and the 25s seem almost inevitable that we will see them very soon. But that is interesting. Hello, Giles. Hello, Izzy's. I'm sorry if I've got your name wrong either way, but hello, welcome to the stream. We've got Flame coming up to the line next. XPG needing a big week here. They're really needing a big week. Across the line. P5 for Flame when he crosses the line. His teammate, Bourbon Boy, in the pits. I think, of course, Zinx and Mono, P9 and P10 as well. Quite a mixed sort of drive from some. We got Pishi coming round next. He went quicker in the middle sector than Ryan Benink, but across the line, he can only do a 26.4. So realistically, some drivers are dropping. Some drivers are dropping time in that final sector, and I think they're probably dropping. I know that Ryan Benink had a very strong final sector, so I think there's some time being dropped there. I think we got one of the McLarens heading round, and the first one is Ixa. I'm dying. I need a drink first. Holy. My apologies. I'm actually dying. But Ixa not very fast. He seems to be way off of the pace at the moment. This could actually be setting him anywhere into the 26s. Who knows? Could just be a tough first run. I do not know. But he doesn't... Again, VRT looking off of the pace so far. You know, they looked a bit off of the pace this season, I'd say. And, you know, they've definitely been slowest, as you can see. It's the go slowest of all. We now got to look to Jack F1, who crosses the line. He's going to go P13. No longer slowest of all. Warren is starting his lap. I think we've got some other drivers on laps. I think that's the Red Bull. I think that's Pishi who's on an in lap. So it'll be Kirill Yasko coming around for XR8. He's raced before in FRLT all the way back. Nobody's getting to Q3 because it's a short qualifying. And across the line, Kirill Yasko only P11. Oof, not exactly where he wants to be in the grid, behind all of his teammates, slowest of them all. Not where you want to be. Definitely not where you want to be. We've got Warner making his way around with some speed. UFRT. Oh, and Warner invalidates. But UFRT making some bold decisions. They've had a decent campaign so far. Third in the Constructors. They need to claim that back. But at the moment, being P20... Yeah, the race will be intense. It will be. I mean, look at that. UFRT's up there with Deck. You've got AB, XRA, XPG. You know, you've got all of these teams in there. And generally, I couldn't tell you, you know, who's going to come out on top out of all of them because they're all very, very close. And I think we saw in Qatar how close AB and XR8 are in performance. And also how there's some sneaky drivers, like some sneaky teams like sort of UFRT who occasionally bring themselves up into the contention for wins. You know, UFRT up there, and also XPG coming in have immediately set the pace, and they've immediately gone, this is where we want to be. We've got Josh Rhodes on a lap. He's improved by 2/10 in his first sector, so he's found a lot of time. Obviously, some mistakes coming from that first sector of his. Let's see what Josh Rose can do. Can he get provisional pole? He needs to find about another 10th. Through Maggots and Beckett's. See? Still 2/10 up. He's actually lost a slight bit of time. So he might go to... He's going to go to a 0.0. And he is going to go to about P3. But that's looking like the best he can get. Unless he can really hook up this final sector. Let's see how Josh Rose can do. Into the final chicane. Josh Rose heads round, keeping it within track limits. Very important to do so. Across the line, he does go P3, almost into a 25. But he just misses out. Just missing out there. Quite unlucky there. Very close. I think we got Deck, who's slowly making his way around. Of course, the drivers have got to leave space between them and the car in front. But Ixa coming round. Has he got the pace? No, he's not. Is he running out of fuel? That's my question. No, he's not. He's just getting out of the way. Zinx, by the way, P2. Big one from Zinx. Very big one. XPG pushing up the order quite a bit. Exactly what they were looking for. Flame's just on a lap. I think he's just starting his lap. As we can see, Mono goes into P9. Not bad there. I think we got Rafina coming round. He's up by 3/10. So that could actually send him to the top 6. This is going to be... This is the point where some drivers who didn't get good first runs are getting better second runs. And he does go P6 to the point zeros as well. Everybody is incredibly close at the moment. AB really pushing. It's interesting at the moment, though, as Ryan Benink goes P1 and fastest, provisional pole, 1 minute 25.691. XR8 again, pushing for another incredible qualifying and another pole position this season. Back-to-back poles. Really pushing. As now Raxi goes even faster to a 1 minute 25.552. 4/10 ahead of Zinks. XR8 really pushing for this championship. They're really pushing for the championship lead. Flame goes P3. Just slots in behind Ryan Benink, but he's still almost 2/10 off of Raxi at the moment. So there is slipstream is surely. Maybe. Bold comments. Who's further on their lap? I think this would be... is it Jack? No, not Jack. I think it's going to be Warrener, who's furthest on his lap, making his way through Luffield now. I think Silverstone has a good sort of set of sort of mixed corners. You've got the low-speed corners, the final chicane and Village. You know, you've got that. And then you've got the sort of more medium speed corners, like Luffield, and then you've got the high speed corners like Maggots and Beckett, Stowe Corner. You've got some of these really, really fast corners that are just flat out, or mostly flat out. And I think that's going to be an interesting part. Warner making his way around though into Stowe Corner, as we just mentioned about it. He's not looking too quick at the moment. UFRT not looking like they've got a huge amount of pace behind them on one side. In that Mercedes. Where's he going to go? He's not going to even slot into a 26. He's going to go 27.1. Not slowest, but pretty close. Bourbon Boy now comes into the pits. Along with Flame. Means he's going to get stuck for a while. We'll have to see whether he can get out in time. Because it is quite a long pit lane that does take quite a while to make your way around. But there's already some drivers on outlaps. We've already got him on an outlap. But it's Rusted Bolt who's making his way around. I think he is doing some long runs again. Raxi is disconnected from the session. Could leave pole up to chance now. Very much could leave provisional pole up to chance. And it is 200ths down from Rusted Bolt. Rusted Bolt really struggling to find performance. He's very much struggled in that car. He's very much struggled for UFRT so far. Which is unlucky, I'd say. I definitely would say it's unlucky for Rusted Bolt. Because he's not really getting everything out of it. He boosts by 1/4 of a second to P14. That's all he can get. We got to look to Floppist now, who's making his way around. Josh Rose is on his outlap, so he's got out rather early. When is everybody else going to go out, though? The big question is, can Josh Rose or anybody on their coming outlap get round before traffic comes out? Because we've already got, I think, one car coming out. I think that might be Kill Yasko. I think it's Kill Yasko that's coming out. Now making his way around. It is Kill Yasko who's made his way around, but you can see Josh Rose having to slow down. But we've got Floppist we're following. Now we might actually just change over to Josh Rose quickly to see whether he does make his way around and how much traffic he is going to get, because he's just heading around the final corner now and there's quite a lot of cars coming up, but a lot of them are going to be in front of him. He's only just skipped the first small queue. All of these guys should stick to the right. He has jumped most of the traffic. He has jumped the biggest part of the traffic. So now, as you can see, Josh Rose heading round the loop. Very good. Now heading down onto the Wellington Straight. DRS open, heading down towards the left-hander. Now through Luffield, looking good. Josh Rose, looking like he's got some pace. Looking like he's very, very quick at the moment. He's got some incredible pace out there. I must say, Josh Rose has put in some good performances before. He's done it for MAR in Season 2. Tier 1. Raxey's now retired from the session. He's retired on track, which is a bit of a problem. Floppus also retires. Josh Rose is 2/10 down on his time, and that looks like it's going to be the end of qualifying for this man. Looks like some disappointment coming his way, and he is done with his session. That's it. I think we're going to have to look to somebody else, whoever's latest on their lap. And that person, I believe, is... actually... It is Rusted Bolt making his way around. Is he improving? 55 thousandths up at the moment. Is it going to improve his position? Coming round and across the line. Rusted Bolt goes into P14. That is the end of qualifying. It has now arrived. It's Wooder is making his way round. Coming across the line. Let's see what he can do. He goes to P4. Jumps very far up the grid. I think we've got Jack F1 coming around next. He's improving by about 6/10. So he might actually... he's going to fly up the order to possibly about P10. So he could be in the battle there. As he makes his way round the final corner. He does go P10 in the end. Very strong lap from himself. Have we got Rafina coming around? No, it isn't. It is Mika. He goes P4 when he crosses the line. It's a good lap. Kilyasko is able to go P11. Mono goes back to P10. And it's a very solid lap there. Zinks now goes P4. Flame! Fastest of all! XPG Flame, 4 thousandths faster than anyone else. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. Pishi goes P7, then disjointed by Rafina, who goes P6. Now we're looking to the rest of the grid. Tobias goes P11. Then waiting for the McLaren to come round. Who knows? At the moment, Rusted Bolt is going to be the last driver. But that is qualifying over. And it is XPG Flame on pole position, not even provisional, but he's on pole here for FRLT 4's Season 4, round number 4. And it is pole in Silverstone, and it is the pole that XPG have been looking for and what they need. So, we are going to go through the order of the grid. Flame is on pole, followed by Raxey close behind. Ryan Benink in third. Zinks in fourth, followed by Mika in fifth. Rafina in sixth. It's Wooder in seventh. Pishi eighth. Josh Rose ninth. And Deck in 10th. Tobias goes 11th with Mono in 12th. Jack F1 13th. Kilyasko 14th. Rusted Bolt 15th. Ixer in 16th. Warren in 17th. Floppus in 18th. Deccan in 19th, and Bourbon Boy in 20th and last. So we're going to be getting into the race. Going to be waiting to go in a few moments. So we're going to be getting going. Some drivers have called for a restart because one of the XR8 drivers disconnected and can't take control of his car. Should be going any second. We should be going any second now because it is 8:30 and we will be going very shortly. If you guys are enjoying tonight's stream, please think about leaving a like and subscribing. Also click on that notification bell to know about all of the content we do, from videos, shorts, to even these streams. Also make sure to go and click on the link down below in the description for our Twitter account. Go and follow us on there. We're still waiting for people to ready up. We are readying up now. Here we go. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here in Silverstone for FRLT 4 season number 4. And there's a good getaway from Flame. He takes it away from pole. And it's a perfect start from himself as he now leads the way, heading down into Village. It's a good lead. And XPG now lead away 1-3. You can see Zinks battling with Ryan Benink over P2. Zinks still there. Look at this. Heading down the Wellington Straight. Is it going to be XPG? It's 3 wide as they head towards the next corner. And it is the lead once again for XR8. It is the lead for Ryan Benink. XR8 return to lead once again here tonight, but Zinks is following incredibly closely on the back of this. Whoa! And in the wall! And in the wall goes Raxi. Goes into the wall. Causes a virtual safety car. Holy. Holy, what was that? This is... I'm not sure what that was. I'm not sure whether he's accidentally had a massive moment or whether he's just completely sideswiped Flame. But XPG are not very happy about that, and it's a big problem. It is a massive problem. I've got to say, Bourbon Boy, out of all of it, is gaining a bit because he's already gaining a couple of places, as he's already going to move up to 15th from last. So he's already having a decent start to his day. But Ryan Benink leads under virtual safety car. See, a lot has happened, and it is go, go, go again. Virtual safety car's ended. It's been a bad start for the man of Ryan Benink. He's trying to hold on to the lead against Zinks because Zinks has actually gotten a good start, and that is a good getaway, but still under attack is the man of Ryan Benink. He's still getting attacked. Look at this, pushing the Williams through, and look at this, round the outside, Pishi trying to make a bold move on the XPG driver. Unable to, though, before Maggots and Beckett, but it is still holding on. 3 teams on the podium for the moment. ABE look like they're solidly on for some decent points at least. But look at this, DRS enabled. Look at all the cars getting past Ryan Benink. Ryan Benink immediately demoted down almost to P4 here. And there's some battling out at the lead. Zinks and Pishi going side by side into the chicane. They're still going at it. Look at Ryan Benink. He's trying to make his way through to hold on to P2. He does at least. Zinx down to P3, but it is Pishi in the lead of the race. And that is a good getaway from himself, as I think that is Deck dropping down the order. And you can see it is all getting quite crazy. Here comes, look at Zinx down the inside. He's trying to get past, I think, Ryan Benink more than Pishi. And around the outside, has he gotten the grip? He has gotten the drive, and he's going to get that DRS, which means ultimately Zinx might take the lead and lead for XPG. And into the next corner they go. Pishi battling with Ryan Benink. Nobody giving XR8 an easy day. Whoa, and a bit of lag from Zinx. He's lagging a little bit all over the place. And that is some crazy stuff happening as Ryan Benink retakes the lead of the race away. But it is going to be controversy around XR8. It's going to be huge amounts of controversy around them, basing it off of that incident between Flame and Raxi. So we'll have to see. But Zinx now following the man leading this race, Ryan Benink. Incredibly close. Everybody down to 15th, all within a second of each other. You can see, look at this. Here comes Zinx. He's going to take the move. He's going to get it. Now, into Stowe Corner. It's going to be Zinx and Pishi who actually lead it away. But look at this. Rafina has actually gotten Ryan Benink. Look at this racing into the chicane. It is all going mental at the moment. Josh Rose trying to make his way past. It is all going crazy for the lead of the race and for the podium positions making their way through. I think Rafina might have just pulled off some overtakes there. Around the outside, 3 wide through Village. Oh my god, what is happening here? And look at that. I think that is the man of Zinx who's off the track, who's been run out of road. And it is Pishi who now leads. That might be taken by Rafina very soon. Floppis now retires from the race. He's retired on track. Holy, this race is crazy. Look at Mika. He's trying to make a move on Ryan Benink at the same time. ABE pushing everything they can. And that's a good move from Micah into P3. And a double podium now for ABE. And massive points ahead of XR8 as it stands. It is all going wild here in Silverstone. As you can see, heading down now onto the hangar straight, but there are drops of rain coming down. Here comes Mika into Stowe Corner. Whoa! Oh my god! What did we just see? It's what is off. Zinx is off. What have we just seen? Holy! You can see there are drops of rain, and as drops of rain come down, more cars spinning, more cars having mental amounts of collisions. But it is Pishi who leads away, still leading for UFRT. I think this is the most laps led for UFRT in a row. I think they've now led 2 or 3 laps here in Silverstone. That's crazy to lead 3 laps away now. For them, it's a massive statement, but holy, what was that? The rain is getting heavier, by the way. As you can see on board with Pishi, the rain's getting quite a bit heavier. Rain for this race, it's going to be an incredibly interesting one going into the rest of this race. Still 21 more laps of this race to go, by the way, and there is so much to do. There's so much to do. There's so much to happen. It's all up for grabs. It very much is all up for grabs. Just give me a second. I do apologize. I just need to quickly sort something. My apologies for poor screen. I know you guys don't like it. But Bourbon Boy, by the way, up into P8 now. XPG's Bourbon Boy having an absolute comeback of the day into the points. Look at this. Tons of cars flood into the pits, including Pishi, the race leader, which means, and Rafina, which means Mika is going to lead this race, followed by Josh Rose and Ryan Benink. XR8 deciding to stay out. Is it a ballsy plan? Is this too much risk? We'll have to see, because at the moment, the rain's coming down quite heavy, and it's quite clear that the track isn't as quick as it was, because the drivers are going a bit slower. it isn't looking as good for the drivers. As you can see, first sector 1.6 seconds down. It's not looking good at all for Josh Rose. What is everybody going to, though? That's my question. What is everybody... Everyone's going to the inters. It is the intermediate tyres. That's what everybody's going to be going to. And the man leading that is Pishi. Pishi's the man leading it. Yeah, I think XR8 might have just made a mistake in the strategy. You can see Josh Rose has closed up to Mika now for the lead of the race. It's again, the battle for the lead continues. But look at that, Ryan Benink sliding everywhere. DRS is still enabled, so Josh Rose will lead this race. He will take the lead from Mika, but it's definitely time to come into the pits. And I don't know what else says it's time to come in or not. DRS disabled. And look at this. Ryan Benink, he's going to have to go for another lap. He's going to have to go on the softs for another lap and sacrifice this race. Where is Pishi at the moment? Everybody else is coming through some of the corners. You can see Pishi's making his way around. We'll see where Pishi's going to come out because he's been gaining huge amounts. You can see 12.3 to Dekchen, who's in P12, who was down, sorry, in P8. Where is Pishi going to gain? Because he's gained at least 2 seconds in this lap. Where's he going to come out? And that is the lead, by the way, for Pishi. The eventual lead. We're going to have to see as the time comes down. But you can see the time is coming down at the moment. It's coming down a lot to Ryan Benink. But, you know, they have definitely damaged their chances for points. And they've massively damaged their chances for a double podium or a 1-2. Ryan Benink now is going to have to maybe have a bit of a chat with the strategists about what went wrong, because he is just dropping seconds through these corners. Look at that, 18.1, 17.9. He is just dropping so much time. He's struggling out there. And this is a problem now for Ryan Benink. He's just going to lose so much time to everyone else because of this. He is losing just tenths through every single corner. And it's a really difficult one, because for the team that is trying to lead the Constructors' Championship out of Silverstone, this has been a complete mess for them. And this just isn't what I think XR8 were looking for. 15 seconds. He's lost 5 seconds this lap. Just because of that, he would have lost about 5 seconds to everyone else. But Pishi now leads by over a second in this race. But look at that. It's just coming down even further. 13.6 by the time he went into the pits. That's just crazy. He's just lost about 7 seconds in lap time. And that's just not what you need in this race. It's not what you need at all. Where's Ryan Benink going to come out? He's going to come out very far down. He's already dropped outside of the top 5. He's going to be even further down. He's going to be about P10, I think, or possibly. I think he's actually going to be P11. He's outside of the top 10. Ryan Benink has all to catch now. He's got to gain everything back and huge amounts of time as well. Who knows? But at least for now, Pishi, he's in a great position here because he's over a second in the lead. And there's a yellow flag. That is Flame, who's gone off into the wall. I think he's going to be pulling into the pits. Disappointment here today. Whoa, and he's very, very annoyed. I think, to be honest, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for his anger. Laser, yes, Laser is in the points. Is that Laser? I'm an idiot. I'm actually an idiot. I didn't even notice that. I'm an idiot. Don't talk to me for like 10 minutes now. But I'm kidding. I'm such an idiot. I've been saying it completely the wrong way. I'm a moron. But yeah, this is an interesting moment now, I think. Whoa! That's Zinks off in the wall. Holy, he just flew across the track. I barely even saw that. Holy. That is a massive Massive crash into the wall. I'm surprised he's come away with just wing damage. But XPG's day, not looking good at all. But Zinx is staying out for some reason. He's staying out for some peculiar reason, but Jesus, today is an interesting one. It's definitely turning into being an interesting race. Nonetheless, it's just filled with chaos. And this is the chaos that I did not expect to... I expected chaos, like a bit of chaos, but not this much. And by lap 9 in the race as well. It is absolutely crazy. You can see the grid is starting to spread out. The top 6, I'd say, is sort of now very much in sort of battles of their own. See, all split into 2s. But Josh Rose has caught up to Pishi. He at least wants to take another win for XR8. He wants to get that second win of the season for them. Let's see whether he will be able to do it or not, because it's all going to come down to this. We know that Pishi has been fast. He's nearly won almost every single race. Let's be honest. He's been in a chance every single race in all 3 races now this season. He's had that chance to win, but he just hasn't been able to capture it. We've only seen ABE, TTRE, and XR8 win. Still 2 teams yet to win, or 3 teams, sorry, of XPG, UFRT, and VRT. But realistically, I think everybody agrees VRT's chances of winning are rather low. Their best finish, I think, is P9 this season, or P8. Sorry, I think it's P9 is their best finish this season. So I don't think VRT has had really a great season. Actually, it might be P8 as their best finish. And so I think realistically, I think we can all agree that VRT are not up there in performance-wise. They're not up there. Now, there goes Ryan Benink trying to get past Tobias. Down the inside goes Ryan Benink. And that's a move made very well for the XR8 driver, but he's got a long way before he catches up with the top 6. Probably has ruled himself out of a podium here today. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to be able to catch up for a podium, as it is now seconds dividing everybody. But yeah, I think it's a tough one. I think in this case for Pishi, because he's now got 2 drivers behind him. The battle for the podium is on. The battle for the win is hugely on here. 3 different teams could win. We could have a new winner this season of UFRT. We could have XR8 complete back-to-back wins, or we could have Mika claim that second win for ABE and the lead of the Constructors' Championship. And that's the same for XR8 as well. The lead of the Constructors' Championship is what is the thing here. Here comes Josh Rose, down the inside into turn 1. Josh Rose thinks better of it and actually just sticks behind, doesn't make the move, and is just waiting. But Pishi is playing a really long game here. He's just making Josh Rose wait. He knows how, Pishi, I think we've seen him multiple times in the past. We've seen him, he can defend in 4s and in tier 1 as well. We've seen it in both of our tiers. He can defend. And I think Pishi is showing that here, that he is just holding Josh Rose up. I think Pishi's used his tyres a little bit too quickly, and they're overheating maybe just slightly. And I think in this case, I think Josh Rose is he's just stuck behind the Red Bull. He's stuck behind the UFRT driver. And there's, it's just no way. It is actually crazy. Because Pishi is working incredibly hard in the lead, and he's held on to this lead for quite a while now in this race, to be fair. He's led for most of the race. I think we're going to be seeing, I think it's definitely a 3-way battle for the lead. And I think also the battle for P4 is heating up with Bourbon Boy, Kill Yasko, and Rafina. Another 3 different teams all battling over the podium. But here comes Josh Rose now down the inside of Pishi. He goes. Can Pishi hold on? Pishi's still there on the inside. Are we going to see a through goes Hamilton moment? No, we're not. Pishi's struggling for grip. Here comes Mika as well. Mika takes P2, and that's a massive move for Mika because he doesn't want to get held behind that Red Bull for too long. And down into Village. It's now the chase for the lead. The battle for the lead is back on for ABE and XR8. Our two main protagonists this season in the championship battle have now come through into 1-2. And it is again the battle for the lead of the championship. But necessarily, I don't think whoever wins will actually take the lead of the championship. Because realistically at the moment, 15 points for ABE. Plus another 11, 26 points. So at the moment, XR8 would just lead the Constructors' Championship by a few points. But for ABE here, 3 points will not lead them the championship still. So they need to get... So Rafina also needs to pull up some positions. They need to be 1-2 if they really want to take the lead of that Constructors' Championship at the moment. And down into the next section. Looking pretty interesting at the moment. And with the speed, with the slipstream up towards Stowe Corner, can he close in enough? No, he can't. Lap 12 of 26, 14 more laps to go in this race. Next lap, lap 13, the midway point of this race. It's going to be an interesting one to see what's going to happen here. As we can see, Mika tried to take the lead of the race, the battle for the lead. But you can see also now, we've seen Rafina, Kiriyasko and Boy all catch up into this fight. So it's now more of a six-way fight. 2 XR8 drivers, 1 XPG, 1 UFRT and 2 ABE drivers all in this battle for the win. Jack, F1, battling with Mono over 3 points here. And for VRT, it's a big 3 points they would have liked to have, but now they're reduced down to just 2 points in today's race. And it's a massive disappointment for them because, you know, they are lacking points at the moment in the championship. They're not scoring the positions. You know, they're not getting the positions they need. You know, they're just not getting these positions at all. And that's the problem that I think VRT are having. But look at this. Jack with a good switchback. He's going to try and make it on Mono for P8. He's trying to make the move back into Cops. He has to back out in the end. But look at this. He's got on the drive into the back of Mono, the XPG driver in the end. Look at this. He's really wanting that P8. He's really battling that P8 position. He really wants these 3 points for the team. These small amounts of points, I think, might be very... Whoa! And a big slide for Mono means that Jack also gets caught up in it. But look at this. Deck is going to get both of them because of that incident. And it's all changed again. Deck into P8, an extra 3 points now for UFRT here tonight. An extra 3 points. An extra 3 points for UFRT are, of course, you know, for them it's a decent amount. And oh, somebody's had a bit of a moment. That's Rafina who's had a moment. He's gone off track. He's dropped down to P6. That's not what ABE needed. They needed him to be up in P4 and scoring those 11 points. He's now down to 7. He's dropped 4 points now from that one mistake. Hello, welcome D&M Sports Debate. Hope you're having a great day. Having a great day, and I hope you're enjoying the stream. But the races, I think, it's become a bit quieter because the drives have now spread out a bit. But the lead is still Josh Rose, XR8 still leading away, followed by Mika closely. Pishi's kind of on his own. He's almost 2.5 seconds ahead of P4, Bourbon Boy. But he's 2 seconds behind P2. So he's very much on his own at the moment in the race. But one small mistake could ultimately mean Bourbon Boy and the rest could catch up to him. But you can just see Jack F1 again. Look at this. Mono's had to go off track. Oh my god. Tobias gains a few places from P11. Whoa! And that's Mono off the track. And that's the... Oh my god. That's a billboard gone. Holy. Just see Jack fighting for P9 now. He's still fighting for those 2 points. That's the one thing I always say is that don't rule even smaller teams like VRT out. Don't rule VRT out at the moment because you know they are taking small points, but they're still taking points at the end of the day. They've taken points from every single race that they've competed in. You know, which pretty much every other team has done. But it's interesting to see that they're not giving up. They still want a championship campaign. You know, at the moment they will finish even with their points on average. They are going to finish 6th in the constructors. Let's be honest. Most likely they're going to finish 6th. There's a bit of battling for P11 here. Laser trying to get Mono into left field. Laser with a ballsy move actually gets that move into P11, and now he's going to be trying to chase down his teammate Jack and take the battle for double points to maybe take 3 points at the end of the day, bring their championship up to 8 points. Going to help themselves out quite a bit, but I believe he's missing a front wing end plate, which might be his only problem. Is that he's going to have a little bit less cornering, or a decent amount less, but we've got to look to the lead, because look at this. Look at the battling going on here. We have Josh Rose and Mika almost side by side, almost battling in to the chicane, but it's very calm here. You know, they're pulling, I think they're working together to pull into the lead more. And this is an interesting thing that I don't see from opposition so much anymore, you know, just working together to pull off into the lead of the race. But Pishi's actually having a good first sector. He's closed that down by 4/10 already. Interesting to see, but you can see heading now onto the Wellington Straight. There's going to be 2 back markers, Flame and Zinx coming up. But look at this. Josh Rose having to go defensive against Mika into left field. Neither of them really get a better exit there. Neither of them really get the better exit. And it's still Josh Rose who leads the way. I think it's been about 5 laps now he's led for. At the end of this lap, I think it'll be about 5 laps he's led for in this race. And another 5 laps for XR8 to lead. Counting up the numbers at the moment. They took pole. Sorry, they didn't take pole. They took P2 and P3. But it's not turned out the same. And heading into Stowe Corner, it's a bit of side-by-side battling. Josh Rose and Mika going side-by-side. Look at Mika. He's really trying, but again, like I said, you know, I said this about Pishi, and I'm going to say this about Josh Rose. From experience, I've seen Josh Rose. He does have strong defense, and it's showing here in these wet conditions. But it is allowing Pishi to catch up, because Pishi's now down to 2 seconds. He's brought it down by a third, and he's closing in more and more. This is the only problem that I think Josh Rose is going to have to think about. Same for Mika, is that not only Bourbon Boy's getting to close in a bit, but it's mostly Pishi that's getting to close in. And having a third driver is not going to help either of them in this battle. And so they might just want to try and drop him, let alone sort of others, to be fair. You know, I think that's sort of what you'd usually sort of hope for, to be honest. And heading round, we can see some side-by-side battling with teammates of Zinx and Flame. You can see Josh Rose still leading away. And there's a yellow flag. Somebody's gone off. And that is Zinx who's gone off. He's off in the wall again. And it's an interesting one, but this is a safety car. What is this going to do? People are going to come in. Of course, they're going to come in for some fresh intermediates. We knew they were all going to come in for fresh intermediates. Who's staying out? I think we've got Flame who's staying out. But heading round, Josh Rose, he's coming in. This is risky. Where's everybody going to come out? Because you need a good stop here. And that's a good stop for Josh Rose. I think his teammate, Ryan Benink's also going to be coming in at the same time. Whoa, and it's a little bit slower for Rafina, who didn't get as good as a start. Zinks now retires from the race. Disappointment for XPG. Even more disappointment on top of a disappointing day. And Josh Rose still leads the way, but the safety car is going to bunch everybody back up, which is the interesting point. It is very much the interesting point. And somebody's had a bit of an off moment. I think that's Jack, who's dropped back down to P10. I'm not sure what's happened there. Now, heading through. Ryan Benink says his car's automatically braking. That's an interesting one. Now, heading towards Ryan Benink, P7. XR8 still on to score the most points out of anybody today, but 3 of their drivers up in the top 10 on for points. But I think it's still an oddity at the moment that we see teams like this. We see some teams dominating like this, but I think overall AB just need a bit more performance. I mean, not a lot of drivers have reached the back of these guys. Only 9 drivers. Not a lot of drivers have actually caught up to the back of this group. I think we're going to be down a couple of drivers soon. We're going to see Bourbon Boy, though, is on for a podium. But, yeah, I think we've got pretty much all the top 13. The top 13, by the way, all in it now. We're still waiting on a couple more drivers. I think we're still waiting on 4 more drivers. We're getting, hopefully the safety car will come in this lap, so we'll get racing. Yeah, this restart is definitely going to spice things up. I do agree with you, D&M. I do agree with you. I think it's one of those moments for... I think it's one of those sort of races where there's been so much chaos you don't know what's going to come out of it. I'm gonna be honest. If I'm to say who I think is gonna win, do you know what? I'm gonna make a bold claim, and I'm gonna say Bourbon Boy last to first. I think XPG will see their first win of the season, and for the 4th race, see a 4th different team win 4s. And bring XPG into this sort of championship battle. XPG, I think, will probably be, I think, reasonably happy with their performance so far. I think we're probably going to see XPG move past TCRE into 4th in the Constructors. I think we're going to see XPG move up into 4th in the Constructors, or just miss out, but probably 4th in the Constructors after today. Which is going to be an interesting one, though. I do like to see that. 4th in the Constructors. Heading through now. Josh Rose. Is the safety car coming in? No, it's not. As we go on to lap number 20 of 26. We're at earliest only going to get racing on lap 21 now, which means we're going to be going till we're going to have 5 lap, like a 5-lap shootout basically. We have 5 laps of this race left. 5 laps of this race left. And it's really coming down to the wire here. But I think the safety car has actually helped quite a few drivers. I think it's really helped Bourbon Boy. He's been able to jump, kill Yasko and Rafina. And, like, I mean, it's brought Bourbon Boy into a chance from last to first. Like, we could generally be seeing XPG be the 4th team to win, or UFRT to become the 4th team to win this season. You know, out of 6 that have competed, 3 have won. And I think this will be interesting. I think this restart. It's always an interesting thing to see. I think restarts are probably one of my favorite things to see. Sorry for the for that. I'm just having to bring everything back up on my screen. I'm having to check some settings, because my PC's deciding to absolutely go mental. But yeah, I think safety car coming in this lap, so we will be guessing racing on lap 21, 5 laps. Who is going to win this? I think Bourbon Boy at the moment is my favourite to win this, but I don't know. Let me know. Please tell me in the chat who you think is going to win this race. Because at the moment, in my opinion, it could very much be anyone. But if I was to say a favourite, it's got to be Bourbon Boy. Because that last to first would be a crazy story to have. So let's see how that's going to go. As Josh Rose goes away now. He hasn't gotten the restart he would have wanted. He hasn't pulled far ahead. Everybody's pretty much still stuck right behind him. He's gotten a good exit, though, out of the final corner. Sliding from Mika, but he hasn't gotten the getaway he needed. But the grid pretty spaced out. And I think Luster Bolt didn't get a good exit, because he's dropped off already, almost a second already behind P9. But it's all heating up now. It's all going everywhere. Let's see. Through Village, through the loop, he goes. Josh Rose leads away on lap 21 for XR8. A couple more laps led this race, but it might all change very soon, because Mika is closing and closing on that Williams. The rain has gotten heavier. I think we can see that the rain has gotten heavier now. It's actually really heavy, to be fair. It's actually gotten really heavy now. And look at this, Pishi trying to make a move on Mika for P2. The battle already heating up, but they've got to work together to keep up with Josh Rose and to keep the race win alive. Hello, wheelies. Hope you're having a great day. This action, oh my god. It is too much. It's too much for me to commentate on. It's actually crazy. Bourbon Boy's not had a good restart. He's already dropping off quite a bit. He's struggling for pace. Who knows what is happening behind the wheel of that Aston Martin. Heading down towards Stowe Corner. Well, heading up to Stowe Corner, really. Heading through. Josh Rose really battling to stay in the lead. Three drivers, all for a chance to win. Look at this. We've got some battling further back. I think that's Rafina trying to make the move on Ryan Benink, who he's trying to, defend from Ryan Benink. Ryan Benink not able to get past the ABE driver just yet. And you could just see Rafina putting up a good defence there. Exactly what he needed here tonight. And this good defence. Here comes Ryan Benink, though, down the inside. He's trying to make the move, but Rafina, again, with an incredible defence, not allowing the XR8 driver to get past and score more points and take a bigger lead in the Constructors' Championship. And this is the sort of team battling we expect to see, and I think very much I expect to see between ABE and XR8 here tonight. I didn't expect any less than this. A little bit bump on the rear. Jack F1 gets a 3-second time penalty. That's going to drop him down to P10 at the moment, possibly P12. He's going to be dropping down to places outside of the points. Got somebody who's run off there. That's Tobias who's run off, and he has a spin anyway. And that's disappointment for ABE. Another drive outside of the top 10. It's Wooder is in the top 10, but it's disappointment. AB really needed all of their drivers scoring points here tonight. But look at this. The gap starting to open out. It's opening up a bit for Mika. It's all going a little bit crazy. Mono gets a 3-second time penalty as well. That's not going to help his points chances here tonight. Making their way round. Look at this. We got Kill Yasko all over the back of Bourbon Boy. It's all going a little bit crazy. It's very much going a little bit crazy here. And look at this. Flame making the move for P13, by the way. At the moment, he could just, if he can make a couple of moves and get past It's Woodard, he could actually pull up to P9. Still score points in the end. But over a second is now the lead. It looks like Josh Rose is set to win this race. Looks like it's going to be an easy run to the flag for himself. Tobias in the pits. He now retires our third retirement of the night. Disappointingly, a third retirement of the night, of course. But Josh Rose working incredibly hard to win this race for XR8 to take back-to-back victories. Exactly what they want. Flame, by the way, just went up to P12, getting ahead of Dection into P12 there. Good from Flame. Another move needed in this race. It's time to close in now on Rusted Bolt. Oh, and it's a penalty for Flame. That's going to rule him out of the chance for points. But it's been a good recovery drive anyway. But you can see the battling for P2, though, is on because Pishi now back within this 1 second gap. He's reduced it down. Mika struggling to keep up with Josh Rose, who's just pulling off into the lead. 3 laps of this race remain. And that is quickly reducing. Very, very quickly reducing. And this is all going to change very soon. See, it's still going. Pishi's still trying to get this P2. But it's still big points for UFRT. Deck, by the way, made the move on Ryan Benink. So it is some more points. It is some more points at the end of the day. Another 2 points walking UFRT's way. And 2 less points walking XR8's way. Oh. This race has been something else. I will say that. This race has been one of the most chaotic races I've ever seen. But oh my god, I have no words for this. But we've got to look, actually, slightly further up the road to Kill Yasko, who's all over the back of Bourbon Boy. He wants to get this move. By the way, Rafina got a penalty, so he's now going to drop down to P8 in the end. So it's even more disappointment for Rafina. But here comes Kill Yasko. He's trying to get past Bourbon, but the straight line speed is just not on Kill Yasko's side. His cornering seems to be better, but nothing else. But this is just not working out for Kirill Yasko. He's trying to push to get a podium. At the moment, he's getting stuck now in this massive queue of cars, and it's just not working. Rusted Bolt having a battle with the man of Raxi, as Raxi now goes up to P12 in this race after being quite controversial at the start of the race. Josh Rose now fully off into the lead. I don't think anybody is going to catch him. He's almost 3 seconds into the lead now of this race. He's really pulling away. But the line of cars from P4 to P9 out of the loop is just, oh my god. It's crazy. All of these cars still battling for a chance of P4, still for those 11 points. XPG want those big 11 points. They very much need those big 11 points here tonight. They'll be their only points they'll be scoring. Rafina and Jack can't get those points, but Deck, Ryan Benink, and Kill Yasko all still can. And it's all going Bourbon Boy's way at the moment because his defense has been incredible so far, and his straight line speed is above Kill Yasko's. And that's being clearly shown because corners, Kill Yasko's quicker, straight line speed, Kill Yasko is slow. And look at that mistake from Kill Yasko. That's just, whoa, and a big slide from him pushing Rafina off. And look at this. This has allowed Bourbon Boy again to escape off into this sort of lead for P4. But Deck up to P5. This man's just been making smart moves all race. Yasko gets a 3-second time penalty, so his race chances for P4 are gone. But look at this. Deck up to P5. He could be pushing for P4. He could be pushing for 11 points. UFRT might actually come out of this race with possibly the most points out of anybody. This is turning out to be something else. They could be coming out with currently 26 points. We know that at the moment it's all going crazy. Who knows who's going to come out with the most, but we'll have to see in the standings after this race because it's going very crazy. We will look to P2 and the battle for P2 going on. Pishi's getting close. He's gotten a lot closer now. But look at this. Bourbon Boy. Is he under attack from Deck? No. Not into the next corner. He's not under attack just yet. He's not under attack yet in this race. Just as of yet. He's not under attack. Not yet. We'll have to see because there's still a long way to go till the flag. And the battle for P2 is now heating up. It's the last couple of corners. Can Pishi make the move for P2? Here we go. In the slipstream. Pishi running down. Look at this. Pishi's used everything he's got. He's unable. Big mistake from Mika though. Is it going to be a dive bomb from Pishi into the chicane? Yes, it is. No, it isn't. But we got to look to the lead. Josh Rose will win in Silverstone for XR8. Back-to-back victories. Mika comes P2 with Pishi finishing out the podium. Bourbon Boy finishes 4th. A very strong race from him. 5th, Deck. And look at this. It's Wooder, by the way. He gets P7. So it is some more points. It is some more points in the end for ABE. Another 5 points coming their way. What a close end. What an end there. Right there. Holy. Holy. Let's go through the order of the grid. Josh Rose with an incredible climb up the order from P9 to P1. What a victory. Followed by Mika in 2nd. Pishi finishing off the podium. With Bourbon Boy with, I'm going to say, driver of the day. Bourbon Boy. Absolutely crazy. What a brilliant drive from himself. Deck in 5th. Followed by Ryan Benink in 6th. It's Wooder in 7th. Yasko in 8th. Rafino in 9th. And Jack finishing out the points. Flame is 11th with Raxi 12th. Dection in 13th, Laser in 14th, Rusted Bolt 15th, Warren 16th, Mono in 17th, Tobias in 18th, Zinks in 19th, and Floppis in P20. What an end. What an end to tonight's race. Absolutely. I'm so tired from that. That has just completely knackered me out. That is, what a race. What an end. In the end, let's have a quick look at the calendar. Imola completed, Abu Dhabi completed, Qatar completed, and now Great Britain. Next week we go to the track, to the shortest track on the calendar of Austria. Then we go into Kota the next week before we end out April with China. And then in May, our final 2 races of the Netherlands and Bahrain, almost past that halfway point of the season now. Absolutely crazy. Ultimately, if you guys have enjoyed it, please think about subscribing and leaving a like. Also, click on that notification bell to know about all the content here. Also, you know, from videos to shorts to these streams. Also, make sure to go follow us on Twitter. The link is down below. And massive thanks to our affiliates, SimRacing Center. Their link to their Discord server is down below. You can get everything from setup, strategies, and God knows what, and even coaching from them. So make sure you can do it. make sure you can you go and check that out. Ultimately, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you very soon. Goodbye.